Hey everyone, I am doing something a little bit different this time and trying a new recording device. So you're going to see it's a little bit more choppy than maybe my normal videos. But I'm doing the Paper Issues Scraplift Challenge, and you'll see on the upper right hand of the screen the layout that I'm going to scrap lift. They do every Sunday a different layout that you can scrap lift, and I really get inspiration from those kinds of things, sketches and scrap lifts. So I really liked doing those, and so this is another one of those for me. The other thing I really wanted to do with this challenge, and actually in the month of January and February, I'm kind of trying to make myself, is to use scraps. I have an entire bin of scraps from all the paper that I've used over the last, year, and it's just overwhelming. It's actually about to fall out of the scrap bin. So I decided I would really focus on using scrap paper for a lot of the layouts I'm doing kind of in the next few months. That scallop cutter is actually one of the original scrapbooking supplies I have. I don't know if you guys have something like that in your toolkit, but that cutter from Creative Memories was one of the things I bought at one of my first scrapbook parties, that you go to and people talk about scrapbooking, you get the catalog. And I just thought the idea of being able to cut a perfect squiggle line or a perfect wave was so neat. And what you'll see is when I go back and look at my 2004, 2002 to 2004 albums, there are so many layouts that have borders of the waves and the squiggle lines. And then, once kind of scrapbooking got a little cleaner and Project Life came out and we started doing more what I would call grid kind of pocket style layouts, I got away from using that squiggle border. And this particular layout had those scallops, and I don't have a scallop punch. And in the back of my head, I said, oh, wait, do I still have that cutter? And it was on the bottom shelf underneath my travel cutter, the one you take to, crops that's you got from Walmart. And I got it out, and I think I'm going to keep it on my desk for a while. I think I'm going to try to see if I can use it in a few more layouts. So while I've been talking, what I've done is kind of created the base of this layout. You'll notice I did use just a plain piece of white cardstock, just like they did, just to give the layout a little bit of kind of break from the color. And I am taking as many of these colored papers that I could use and putting them on the layout. At the end, I think I ended up getting 7 different things on the layout, from that shiny vellum piece to a couple pieces from Die Cut with a View. I think that is an old Amy Tangerine. I know the rainbow smaller 1-inch border is a Allie Edwards. So I did get quite a few different pieces of paper and different collections. And it does help that this is a layout about Dr. Seuss. So I can use rainbows and I can use lots of colors. So that kind of helped me not have to worry about, am I matching and is it all kind of too much? So the white border, the white paper at the back, and then the fact that it's Dr. Seuss kind of helps with this layout a little bit. But I really enjoyed kind of the just cacophony of color, I would say. I'm going to use a piece of foam to put the picture up just to give a little bit of dimension. And that is basically kind of the core layers that I do for this picture. So I have basically made kind of the core of the layout now. I've used all the frames. I got my Tim Holtz distressing tool out just to distress the edges, mainly because one of the edges already had like those perforations, and I didn't think that I could get it cut fine enough to get them off. So instead of being stressed about those perforations, I just made them work and I just distressed the other edges. Sometimes those papers that come in paper packs and they have those perforations, they just drive me nuts because I feel like I can never then get the top of it straight, and I always see the little lines and then it's not up here 12 by 12. Maybe I'm the only one, but I don't necessarily like paper packs because of that. So I'm using some of the papers to cut out embellishments on, It's another way to kind of use your paper and make it work for you. So this particular one is kind of glittery. I really liked that paper. Then I thought originally that I just wanted to use this as the title, Our Day, because it was a day that John and I went to the Dr. Seuss Museum as two adults. We were probably the only people there without kids. And he took me because we all grew up reading the books to our kids, but I remember my dad reading the books to me even. And it was just kind of an interesting thing to see this museum. And it was, I said for a long time that I'm the Lorax, I speak for the trees. That kind of is ingrained in my personality, that book, and I really loved it. So I talked for a week about getting to go to see this. You had to get your tickets online and you had to reserve a time. So it really was kind of our day together to do this. But then I saw a challenge on another board about using a lot of different alphas. And I thought, if there was any time that you can mix and match all of the crazy colors of alphas that you get, that you've really never used, and in some cases, some of these were not even opened, this is the time. So I got out 4 or 5 different colors and different sizes. This is the bin of alphas I have that are all not black and white, that are just different colors. And I'm going to make Suessiful, which is not a real word, but that's okay, our Suessiful day, and just kind of use a bunch of different letters. You're seeing me having to open up packages. Like I said, I have really struggled with using different colored stickers, alpha stickers. I just don't, I'm a black and white title or that kind of a person most of the time. So I have all these colors. Most of them came with kits, or they came, you can see right there, there's an Ali Edward pink one that came with some set that I got. And I'm trying to use them, but it's hard. So this was a good day for me to just kind of use up basically 4 or 5 different colors. I had gotten those silver ones to go in my December daily because I thought it'd be great to have silver glitter, and ended up not using a whole lot of them. So I have 2 sets actually of those silver puffy foam ones left, almost not completely used. So I'm trying to do that too. So I am putting all these on a wax paper just to make sure I spell it right, and then I'm going to transfer them to the page, and it's going to say Our Suessiful Day. And to me, that ended up being a great way to kind of use the stickers and still use the paper and have a title that made sense for me. I did cut down the I sticker and make it a lowercase I. I didn't like the way that purple I stood above the S. So just remember, when you have your stickers and you have your letter stickers, you can cut them. They're yours. They belong to you. It's okay. Take your scissors out, make them work in a way that works for you. It took me a long time to feel okay about, cutting into this thing that I bought, but paper and stickers, they're only useful if you use them. And like even using that Our Day, there was a time when I probably wouldn't have cut that off, cut that apart, because that's the way it was on the paper. And it's taken me a while to kind of realize that it's okay. I do it for me, and let's just get it done and make it work for our scrapbooking. So I am popping up hour and day just to match the photo. So they're going to be higher. And when I put in Suessiful, it will say Our Suessiful Day. And I thought I had cut out some of this, so we're going to see this for a long time. I wish I kind of had some background music you guys could listen to. So funny thing is, I am actually recording this on my iPhone instead of my computer. I'm doing the video editing on my iPhone instead of my computer. For my birthday, I bought myself an iPhone 11, and I have been using my old iPhone 6 to do my videoing and then doing the photo editing on my computer in Photoshop Elements. And I recorded this video with my iPhone 11 because my old iPhone didn't have enough charge, and I thought, I'll just do it real quick and transfer it over. And apparently the iPhone 11 records in a format that is not compatible with my photo editing software, my video editing software, and I couldn't figure it out. So I decided for the first time to try the iMovie feature on my iPhone. So that's why this looks a little bit different than some of my other videos. It's kind of not as smooth, and I don't have a title up front because I'm just learning how to use it. I will say, other than having to do it on my small iPhone screen, it does seem to be pretty easy. I don't have as much control as I do in the video editing software, but if any of you have suggestions for better video editing software on your phones, I'm all ears. I would love to hear about it. I think that being able to do it on the iPhone does save me a couple of steps. So I might transition over to this. My only concern is storage. So I guess once I upload it, if you ever hear this, I'll have figured out how to upload it. And then I can delete it from my phone. So that's a little behind the scenes of what's going on in my world. But basically you're seeing the core of the page right now. And I'm going to add a couple of enamel dots. I used one that's kind of glittery for that camera that I fussy cut out of the Amy Tangerine paper. And then I'm going to put a few in the corner. I'm going to sprinkle a few in the corner. Once again, another package I hadn't even opened. So this page is getting a lot of the things used that I want to be able to use of my stash. And then I kind of look at her page and I see she has this bow paper clip. And I know somewhere in my stash I have bow paper clips. So I go over and I look and I end up finding this heart. And I just like it. And then I pull the stars out because she has stars, and I decide the stars don't really work on my page. I've already put the enamel dots down there. But I do end up finding a binder clip that has the word smile. And I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put it, and I really don't like it there. I kind of want it as part of a little triptych there with the camera and the heart. So I end up having to pull up the paper a little bit and move the heart behind that paper so that I can do all three of those things there. And I really ended up loving how that turned out because it's got the camera and the heart and then the binder clip that says smile. So that is kind of my little cluster up there in the upper right hand corner. I like that I have metal and plastic and paper and an enamel dot, kind of all the different materials. It just reads Suessiful to me. So the last thing I'm going to do is add my journaling, and she had just handwritten on her layout for the journaling, and I just went ahead and went for it. I wrote my journaling right there in the white space, and then in classic Allie Edwards style, I drew the lines underneath it, and I really ended up loving how that turned out. I think that is kind of one of the things that I've gotten less, I don't want to say stressful, but less overwhelmed about is I don't have to worry about how my handwriting looks in these particular setups. So this is my layout, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the process. There's me kind of showing you all the different papers I used, and here is the final page. So hopefully this wasn't too scattered and you enjoyed it, and please feel free to follow the paper issues because their Scraplift Sundays are amazing. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.